Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So today's the first day of pads at New York Jets training camp, and the fifth practice just wrapped up, and the headliner from today's practice was none other than wide receiver Elijah Moore. Okay, and I gotta be honest, it's so awesome to hear that day after day, there's this trend going on, this continuous trend. I feel like literally every single day of practice where a young player steps up, and it's somebody different every practice, whether, one day it's Breece Hall, one day it's Garrett Wilson, one day it's Quinn Williams recording multiple sacks, Bryce Huff another day. It's all young players. Today, according to Zach Rosenblatt, it was Elijah Moore's day. Okay, so again, it's awesome to see that these young guys are continuing to step up, and it was the third play of practice, first throw of practice, where the defense jumped off sides and Zach Wilson hit Elijah Moore anywhere from 70 to 80 yards. It was a touchdown where he beat DJ Reed. Okay, so pretty exciting stuff. I think at one point Elijah Moore was actually trending on Twitter. He could still actually be. I'd have to check. But then later on in the practice, supposedly he had a really, really nice grab from Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco's another storyline, and we talked about him a little bit yesterday. To have the steady arm at the backup quarterback position it's key. I mean, it's so important. How many times have the Jets, been out of a game because we don't have any production from the backup quarterback? I'm getting flashbacks of Trevor Siemian Monday night against Cleveland, a game I actually went to. Luke Falk against the Patriots. It's just the game is over before it starts, and the Jets fortunately are not in that position. Worst case scenario here, a nightmare situation, is if something were to happen to Zach Wilson, he goes down with an injury, whatever the case may be, at least the Jets are in a position where it's like, okay, we still have a shot to win the game. We could put Joe Flacco in, he could run the offense effectively, distribute the football, get it to the playmakers, and not really miss a beat. Whereas, in the past, there was some monumental drop-off. So I couldn't be happier to have Joe Flacco in the building taking these snaps, to be in the meeting room with Mike LaFleur to help Zach Wilson's development. If we think back to this point last year, we had 3 quarterbacks on the roster that never took an NFL snap before: Zach Wilson, Mike White, and James Morgan. This go round, not the case. We have a Super Bowl champion behind Zach. Okay, so for him to, again, be out there taking these snaps, participating in preseason, I think it's going to be huge for the morale of the team. And according to Brian Costello, he actually capped off a 6-play, 40-yard drive resulting in a touchdown pass to Jeff Smith. So I'm loving what I'm hearing. Now, we actually have an update from Kwon Alexander. Not only was he just there, present at Florham Park, but he actually practiced, okay? Supposedly he came up with a pretty big hit against Ty Johnson. And look, Kwon Alexander, I'm projecting this guy to be a 4-3 start. Like this, he's going to be a starter for this base 4-3 defense. In nickel looks, I'm not so sure whether it's going to be CJ and Quincy or CJ and Kwon. I'm sure there's going to be, a mix of both, at the linebacker position here. But man, Kwon Alexander, I feel like I could speak for all of Jet Nation here. Everybody's totally pumped to have him, and we all expect a pretty, significant jump from last year to this year at the weak side linebacker position. It's good to hear that he's already, in the building, practicing, making plays. Now, one thing that's both a positive and a negative, the defensive line continues to have success getting after the quarterback here in these training camp practices. Whether it's, interior rushers like Sheldon Rankins and Solomon Thomas, Quinn Williams, whether it's outside guys like Carl Lawson, Bryce Huff is another guy. Tim Ward had a sack today where he beat Mekhi Becton. The defensive line getting after the quarterback, like naturally for me, I love it just because just kind of a defensive guy first and foremost, and then also understanding that this is kind of what the system is based around, getting after the quarterback with your front 4 down linemen, and also seeing what this team looked like last year, going up against opposing quarterbacks, getting in the backfield, overall rankings, just not good, not fun football to watch at all. So in that light, it's great, but then we have to flip it and ask ourselves, at some point, what is happening with the offensive line? Now, of course, we do have to take a look at the tackle position, who's out there. It's Mekhi Becton at right tackle, and unfortunately, George Fant still not participating in the team practices, right, the team drills, so he's still being held out, so we're seeing a mix of Chuma Edoga and Connor McDermott. So it's not like we have our full starting unit. We only have half of the starting unit here. But I think, to continuously hear, Zach Wilson's being pressured, Zach Wilson is getting sacked, guys are consistently getting beat day after day after day. I think this is what raises the red flag a little bit with Jets fans when they say, hey, we kind of need that third backup swing tackle. This is something that we've been talking about for months now, literal months. And the Jets have had their options with, different guys on the market. And let's face it, there's still a lot of talent out there. To go through a quick list of names here: Eric Fisher, Zach Banner, Nate Solder, Darrell Williams, Brandon Shell. These guys, are they, top tackles in football? No. But are they an upgrade over what the Jets currently have, when we're taking a look at, tackle number 3, tackle number 4? I think the answer is yes. Of course, money plays into effect. Riley Reef was actually a guy that I felt like the Jets could have used. I felt like he would have been a sweet signing, but he goes and signs that pretty sizable deal with the Chicago Bears. I'm kind of happy that the Jets laid off because of those financial terms. So I feel like as the days go on here, I would want the Jets to make a move just to have that insurance policy. And I know we keep referencing depth here, the backup position, whether it's quarterback or offensive line. Corner is another position where I feel like depth is really important. I don't want to be in a position where somebody goes down with an injury and then all of a sudden the Jets are incapable of moving the football. We cannot score points. We have to take the game plan and trash it because one guy goes down with an injury. And the Jets have had, unfortunately, really, really bad luck with the injuries. So I would rather play it safe than be sorry at the end of the day. Now, to round things off with the kicker position, as we all know, it's a pretty big spot, a big battle going on between Greg Zuerlein, former Cowboy, and Eddie Pinheiro, who was with the Jets, at the tail end of last season. Both kickers have looked supposedly pretty good, but today Greg Zuerlein did go 4 for 4 in his kicks, where Eddie Pinheiro went 2 for 4. So another interesting battle to kind of just keep our eyes on. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.